Our next story is from Germany, and it's unlike anything you would expect a story from Germany to be. The German authorities have thwarted an alleged coup attempt. That's right, they have foiled a plot to overthrow the German government. This happened on Wednesday, when the German law enforcement officials arrested over 25 suspected far-right extremists. They were charged with plotting to overthrow the government and trying to install a prince as the country's new national leader. I know this sounds like the rejected script of a James Bond movie, perhaps, but believe me, this really happened. Have a look at these images. They are from a quaint town with 6,000 inhabitants, and this is where the alleged plot was being hatched. On Wednesday, this town was raided by the authorities and several suspects were detained. Their testimonies are sensational. According to the investigators, the suspects were preparing for a day when they would storm the parliament and seize control of German national politics. The plotters include members of an extremist organization known for peddling conspiracy theories. And like I said, these men were planning to install a self-styled prince as the new leader. Who is this supposed prince? Well, his name is Heinrich XIII, an obscure German aristocrat with historic royal titles. Little is known about him. There aren't even many pictures of him. This one on your screen shows him in handcuffs being taken to a jail. So who is this man really? What's his story? Here's what we know so far. Heinrich XIII is 71 years old and was working as a real estate developer. He belongs to the House of Reuss, an ancient royal lineage that ruled parts of Thuringia until 1918. This is a region in central Germany which is now a federal state. Male heirs to the Reuss throne are called Heinrich, followed by a number. Heinrich VI, the former king of Germany, belonged to this house. Heinrich XIII was planning to revive the erstwhile glory of his house and take Germany back to its imperial past. He used to reside in a neo-Gothic castle built in the 19th century, and from here he hatched the conspiracy to overthrow the German government. Let's listen in to the deputy mayor of the town where this conspiracy was being planned. Let's listen in to the deputy mayor of the town where this conspiracy was being planned.
All citizens of Bad Lobenstein received a letter this past summer in which we were told that we were not German because our passports were not German. We were then given the opportunity to apply for our German origin documents with Reuss administration. This, of course, provoked a huge outcry among the population. I know the prince only by sight, in other words. I have no personal contact to him. I know where the hunting lodge is, which is logical for someone from Bad Lobenstein. At the same time, I'm very happy and hugely relieved that we have a steadfast democracy, as we saw yesterday.
And unfortunately, the prince's plan failed. On Wednesday, over 3,000 German law enforcement officials conducted raids at over 130 sites. In at least 11 of the 16 German states, they arrested over 25 people. 22 of them were German citizens, 3 others were foreign nationals, and 1 of them was a Russian citizen. 2 others were arrested in Austria and Italy. And that's not all. Besides these 25 people, 27 others are also being investigated. Reports say the authorities are even planning a second wave of arrests. When these arrests will take place is anybody's guess. Interestingly, reports further say that a former member of parliament was also a part of this alleged conspiracy. Her name is Birgit Malsack-Wankemann, a former MP from the AfD, a right-wing populist party, and she has now been arrested. The German Chancellor has called the development both remarkable and awful. Listen in.
What is clear is that something is going on here. It must also be said that the fact that a former AfD member of the German parliament is among the accused is a really remarkable and awful situation. The most important consequence of this is that everyone knows that we have a resilient state and democracy, which is able, with its security organs, to thwart such violations of the law and counter them with all its might.
Now, here's the thing. This is bizarre, no doubt, but what it highlights is how cults are still festering in Germany with the hope of becoming mainstream one day. In recent years, some of these cults have attacked politicians, tried storming parliamentary buildings, and tried subverting the judicial process. This is striking to say the least. Despite 75 years of being a democracy with a constitution, firm structures, and separation of powers, Germany still has cults and far-right organizations operating in shadows, looking to take control of the country. And that is not even the worst part. What's even worse is the fact that these groups are not entirely made of radicals and fringe elements. Most of them happen to be educated individuals who have refused to pursue a profession and are secretly building parallel societies. One of them has just been exposed. There is no saying how many others are still lurking in the shadows. WION now available in your country. Download the app now. Get all the news on the move.